It's been days, y'all, and I needed something to read, and I didn't know what to pick from. So I just opened the box and grabbed the first thing I saw, and that was Captain Planet. I try and keep it spoiler-free, best I can, but if you don't want to hear anything about it, roll out. Respectfully, of course. Man, my thoughts going into this, I thought, because I saw the covers, there were no Planeteers on it, just Captain Planet, so I'm thinking, okay, what happened to the Planeteers, man? I know it says Captain Planet and Planeteers, but I'm like, what happened to these guys? Are we looking at an older version? Are we, bouncing, past any old arcs in the books or the TV show and just like going in some like later future with them? Nah, we got more of a refresh onto the characters. David Pepose, the last thing I read, and I know he's done a couple books. He's done The Punisher. That wasn't based on Frank Castle. It was like a different guy playing the Punisher. I haven't read yet. But the one thing I did read was the volume 2 to Savage Avenger. I think I covered that on a different video, so maybe I'll repost it again at some point. But, Pepose cooks well, and this did not disappoint, Going in, I was a little confused, especially about like the origin and the ages of the characters, because that's changed. Back in the cartoon, in the early like Marvel run in the 90s, these were kids. They were like 14 to 16 years old, you know what I mean? The only one that seemed probably young in this was like Kwame, the guy that holds the Earth ring. But everybody else seemed older than what they were. So it took me a minute to like gauge, okay, where we're at, where are these guys at? And I'm thinking they're probably in their, late teens, so like maybe 18 to like 20 at least. So that was cool. I didn't feel like this experience was like in the cartoons where you have a bunch of kids getting together, learning teamwork, and sort of just, trying to understand their powers and stuff. I mean, you got adults that have, been in the world, seen how corrupt it is, have their own opinions about things, their political views, all of that stuff. On top of that, they also gave Gaia, a heavier role in this. Because starting from the beginning in this modern world, she's still wielding the rings like on her own and able to control Captain Planet and the powers and all that stuff until she, gets captured or whatnot. And then the rings shoot out similar to the way the Green Lantern Corps goes and, finds a good wielder of all of these rings. So I thought that was cool too. You got a fresh take on Loot and Plunder. He's now goes by Lucien Plunder in here. Billionaire philanthropist. He took away the cheese from the the cartoon shows and the episodes and all that. So, and it was very dark. He made things more realistic to today. And don't get me started on Captain Pollution. That was a great change, a nice twist. Captain Planet 2, each time he was summoned, it's sort of like he has these subtle differences in his attire. Sometimes it was more Earth-like. In the last one, based on what was going on with Wheeler, he had more of like a fire power-up, it seemed like. Sick. And speaking of Wheeler, I'm not going to lie, I liked his old mullet look. In this, he sort of took sort of like a Guy Gardner sort of look as far as his haircut. But I miss the little mullet, man. I miss it. So with that being said, hats off to you, Pepose, for another great cook here. I hope you get to continue this either later this year, next year, whatever, and continue with this. I think it's dope. You left a nice little cliffhanger. And overall, great read for me. Now, as I was reading, I did think about the Green Lantern Corps, and I was like, you know what? It'd probably be dope if the Planeteers and the Green Lantern Corps sort of did a team up, a crossover. I remember reading Space Ghost and the Green Lantern. It was short, but it was good. And, then as I'm grabbing, pictures from my videos, I come across this. The universe speaks. Make it happen, guys. And, I got to hunt this down some way, somehow. But I ain't going to break the bank to do it, so I'm going to be waiting a while. So, anywho, if you read it, how you feel? Let's talk.